Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Leanne from Riva Trace Women's Ministry, and I wanted to quickly share with you all, for those that are following us with the Daughters of Grace devotional. We're in week 2. If you haven't started, that's totally fine. I hope that you will. And if you were not able to join us for the Love Radically conference, I hope that you'll email us at women@rtbc.org so that we can get you a copy of that devotional. So for this week, week 2, we covered really 6 or more women, because we talked about Leah, the Hebrew midwives, the mothers of Moses, so that was 2 different women, Rahab, and Deborah. And so I wanted to share with you a few things that I was thinking about this week as I was going through this devotional. It was interesting listening to Pastor Dennis's sermon yesterday morning because he was talking from Luke 12. And one of the things that he specifically said was that we're supposed to not live as if what I have is mine. And a couple of the things that he used to describe that were taking credit for your success and thinking only of yourself. And it made me reflect back on one of the women, or actually all of the women that we looked at this last week, in particular, the Hebrew midwives, the mothers of Moses, and then Deborah, who was a judge of Israel in the time of Judges. And let me just focus in on her because the story of her is just really remarkable. And a couple of the things that I was reminded of this week, as it relates to these women, and particularly with Deborah, is that God can truly be trusted with the outcome. That He works best through those who trust Him, and He can really use any person in any circumstance for His good. But that those who are submitted to Him, those who serve Him, are the ones that He's able to work through best. And we see that certainly in the life of Deborah. The verse for this week, Psalm 62:8, trust in Him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts before Him. God is our refuge. And as that relates to the story of Deborah, she was, as I said before, a judge in the time of Judges in the land of Israel. And prior to her, the land of Israel had fallen away from the Lord. And it says that people came to her seeking out her wisdom. She was a prophetess. She was a wife. And the exchange that we see her having is with the commander of Israel's military, or of the Israelites at the time, Barak. And she says, hasn't the Lord told you to go to this place to engage in war with this particular individual, with Barak? And I'm sorry, with Sisera, not Barak. Barak was the one that was told to go. But she says, weren't you told to go there? And he said, I will go only if you go, but if you don't go with me, I will not go. And she says, I will go with you, because you have not gone as you were commanded to go, then your victory will be in the hands of a woman. And we'll see in week 3, when we talk specifically about that woman, Jael. But nevertheless, it just really struck me about the story of Deborah, where she was recognized as a leader of her people, that she was someone who they came to for wisdom, that she was willing to hold accountable for their actions. And we see this played out in Judges chapter 4 and 5. What I thought was really interesting as I read in chapter 5, which is a song of Deborah, which is Deborah singing praises for what the Lord has done. The devotional says this: she gave God, all the glory for the battle that had been won under her leadership. And as a person who leads things, not just in our church, but also at work, I lead multiple teams. That was a stark reminder for me that as much as I believe that the Lord equips me for each of those interactions, equips me for being a leader in each of those different arenas that He's called me to, that it's so important for me to come back around and to give God glory for all that has been won under my leadership, for all of the victories, big and small, for the things that may not seem victories to others, but they are to us as daughters of the King who have a calling that is much higher than this earth. And so I just wanted to sit on that, and I'm actually going to write this out. As soon as I finish this video and post it, I'm going to write out this phrase on a note card, and I'm going to put it next to my desk so that I'm constantly reminded throughout the day how important it is for me to acknowledge the Lord and all that He is doing and continues to do through me in the places that He places me. And so that's what I wanted to share with you this week. Again, I hope that you're joining me in going through this very short 6-week study about women of the Bible. It's called Daughters of Grace, and the book looks a little bit like this. If you were not able to join us for the Women's Conference, Loved Radically, earlier this month, I truly hope that you will email me so that I can make sure that I get a copy of this devotional to you. It has been incredibly special for me as I'm working through some challenging times to look at different women in the Bible, and not just at what their experience was, but also at the character that we see of God working through each and every one of their stories. So again, I hope that you'll join me as I continue to share these videos. And if you haven't started this devotional, I strongly encourage you to do so. May the Lord bless you as you continue throughout your day. Have a wonderful week. Bye now.